I questioned God since I was a child. Just the concept of God. Like, how could there be God when I'm looking at the peril that people, humans, have faced? You know, my grandmother just wanted me to have a relationship with the Lord, as she would say. And I had Michael, who's now 16 years old. I think she was like 4 or 5. We were going to her nursery for a Black History celebration for her great grandmother and her mom and dad to see her. And we got there, and I was about to drive up the hill, and the guy said, "Well, you can't drive up the hill. You have to park down here and walk up." So she was like, "I'll walk." I was like, "No, Mom, let me just take you up. I'll drop you off one." But she was like, "No, I'll walk." So I parked down. As we were walking up, we got about halfway up the hill. She stopped. She turned around. She looked at me. She looked past me. She saw something. She looked back at me and smiled. She put her arms on me and she was gone. I tried CPR, which I've successfully used CPR twice and saved 2 people's life my lifetime. I was confident I could keep her going if somebody came up. And then I realized, no, she's gone. And it was just me and her. And then it was me, her, and the presence of God. And it was just me. She had told me my whole life that God exists. And her last act of being my mother was showing me that.
I'm feeling this. I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you should have saw the clip when it's just me. So, there was some things when I was a kid and an adult. Because as far as questioning God, I didn't question. At least I don't think I did. I didn't question as in existence, but I'm like, why are you doing this? You know, like, why are we doing this? What is going on? You know, they say everything is a lesson, and you're looking and you're like, I got a lot of lessons, man. And, you know, you start seeing more and more and more people leave. And it's just you. Or you're cognizant of the time where I don't know how long such and such got left. And sometimes life gets empty. And I used to wonder why, you know, my grandparents used to just say, "Look, man, I don't want to be here no more." I used to wonder why they said that. And the older I got, the more it made sense, you know. The more and more it made sense. It's like everybody that they grew up with is gone. The world that they grew up in is gone. The God that they love is not loved the same way in this new era. So the love for God is gone. And, you know, through a lot of situations, you start to realize, man, it's just me. Some of y'all may get it, some of y'all may not. I don't know. I used to be young and pray for the world, just wish everybody has a great day kind of things. And I don't pray much now. You know, I just don't want to inadvertently do something to somebody through prayer that I just will regret. The thoughts that I have, the positive ones, don't seem to come to fruition. The negative ones seem to come to fruition. And it's like, yo, what are you trying to show me? You know, and then I thought about these out of body experiences I had. And to have a good life and a peaceful life, and at the same time be so tumultuous, sometimes it doesn't make sense. And people don't get it, but we're all walking up that hill. Sometimes we're Killer Mike, sometimes we're his grandmother, but we're all walking up that hill. I had wonderful grandparents for the most part. But who's to say if I get the opportunity to be a grandparent? So it's a whole nother story. You know, and you don't know what life has in store for you, man. But you don't want to feel like you're constantly walking alone. And everybody said God's with us all. God's in us all, so God's with us all. But it's hard to make other people believe and have a relationship with God if they don't have faith that He'll be walking with you when everybody's gone. Sometimes, man, we mourn. We don't. Sometimes we don't mourn death, man. We mourn losing a real relationship in the world with somebody. Somebody dependable, somebody you can call on, somebody that'll answer when you call. Some of us just don't, some of us are blessed to not have to deal with hardship for a very long time in life. And some of us question, and some of us get a lot of grace from God, get a lot of help from God, and some of us don't. Or at least we, here's what it is, man. Some of us do, some of us don't. You want a better life, an easier life, and you get closer to God, and it's a difficult journey, man. Because when you watch the people who have the most faith in God leave, and you're trying to figure out if you can pass down what they gave you, and it's not as easy as they made it look. And sometimes you're not even up for the challenge. I would say being in the presence of God is sometimes wonderful and sometimes scary. But being outside of the presence of God is terrifying. So you got to make a choice. Because sometimes it's going to feel like you're walking alone. You might be. But it's temporary. You gotta take into consideration that sometimes the people that you love the most, they were walking alone too. And they took time to stop and walk with you before they had to go. So take that as you will, man. But I'm gonna get out of here. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it to you.